Welcome to City Exodus.
Welcome back to City Exodus. You're now watching Country Living Chronicles, episode 11. God is still giving us time to move out of the cities and to move into the country. I hope you enjoy this family's testimony.
I'm April.
I'm Beban.
We're from California, and we first heard of the Country Living message back in 2012 from Pastor Dwayne Lemon. And we live in the city, we're comfortable, sometimes we're hard-headed. We hear a message and it goes back to the right ear and we didn't pay attention to it much. After we heard the Country Living message in 2012, we homeschooled our kids because we want what's best for them. And then we do our weekly Bible studies with our small group, and Country Living idea somehow always pops up with all these chapters that we're reading, where we want to raise our kids and what we need to do.
But with the small group Bible study, I found it a contradiction where what's the point of studying, Ellen White and the Bible and not putting it into application? So around that time
I was looking for like a support group. And then I saw a Facebook flyer of Jim Buller's Preparing to Stand Ministries here in Mariposa. So we attended one of his wilderness survival camp meetings. And so we drove about 6 to 7 hours, and then we attended every year. And it's so amazing how puzzle pieces come together, where he links prophecy with current events and country living, and he teaches us how to start fry from scratch, do carpentry work, Dutch oven cooking, blacksmith, what else?
And then identifying wild edibles.
Yeah.
Learning
natural remedies.
Learning how to survive, like minimalistic, like no buy, no sell as well. Or what would you do if you couldn't buy anymore? You're learning how to develop a trade.
And so we keep coming back and have grown to love the message and embrace it. And then we got convicted. And
so we looked for a country property like 2018, or we looked around. Everywhere, actually.
It's a process.
And then it was a process.
It's a long process. I think character development is really part of this all. But we see God's hands orchestrating. We don't want any debt, so we can only afford land, so that's what we did. And we looked for other states because this is more cheaper, the land. But then we've loved California. We've grown to like it here.
When we found this property, we bought this property in 2018. And then we finally decided 2019, it's time to move. Mm-hmm. The Holy Spirit prompted us. In 2019, when I quit my job at the hospital that I was working with for 15 years, and then I decided, hey, let's try to move into the property that we bought, which we bought like a year ago. So I was looking for a job, didn't find anyone anywhere close to where we bought the property, but I did a traveling job. And when you step in faith, God will open doors for you. So when He closed one door, He'll open another one. So I kept on applying, and finally was able to find work closer to home. I could get paid more somewhere else further away. But my priority was to, establish myself in the country and build the ark for my family.
It's a sacrifice for us. We sold our big house in the city. We lived in a used trailer for months, maybe about 8 months, to save on rent and mortgage. But in the end, it always pays off. And so while we're already moved in here, it's just land. So we lived in a trailer for several months, and it's a sacrifice for us. And there's a lot of hard labor and manual work. And so the kids at first, didn't like it, but we have to do things or else we're gonna freeze. We need firewood, so they have to go outside and get firewood. And
Not like in the city where you just flip a switch and then, the heater comes on or the AC comes on. Here you have to actually, prepare for it. Like in the wintertime, we chop wood, we use the chainsaw, and we need to prepare for the upcoming season. We had visitors coming, so we needed to provide benches. And there's a few times where I had to get my son, like, okay, let's do a project together as a family. And we built some benches, we built some tables actually, so that, when visitors come, they have a place to sit, a place to relax and just commune.
sometimes when the kids get bored, they say, oh, you should read a book or practice your musical instruments or work outside, help with the chores. Just keep them occupied, and I'm pretty sure they developed patience and hard work and some other.
And we always get that question from parents that say, like, what do you guys do out there in the country? Well, I encourage you to try it sometime. You can come visit us, spend like a few days and see how it is. Where like there's a lot of things that you need to be done. Not like, we don't have the convenience of being in the city where you just, go to the store, go to Walmart or Costco and buy your stuff. Here, you have to be purposeful of what you do, wherein you have to prepare for the next season. And there's, projects after projects that need to be done, like
Never-ending projects.
like planting season. When it's summertime, you have to weed eat to that, because fire season comes. So there's a lot of things that you have to really think about more when you're in the country.
God also tests us, or He knows what we need in our character building. We had some chickens before, and we were gone for a weekend, and when we came back, they were all attacked by a wild animal. So we have to mourn for that. And then we have our dog, a German Shepherd, who died, passed away. We don't know the reason. So there's always something that could discourage us, but we just move forward in faith. And we know that God is always behind us because He led us here and He will get us through. And COVID happened, and so that was the big wake-up call.
And a perfect setting for people to reevaluate their lives and what God's will for them is. So the initial plan was for us to build an ark for my family, and we weren't expecting to do like a ministry what we did. But then COVID happened, and then we had a couple families visiting us. So we decided, hey, we should invite a speaker. Maybe we can have Sabbath worship at a property and, maybe show the little that we have.
Yeah, everything's locked down, the churches are closed, so we figured, we should do church service here because there's a lot of friends coming over. They're just bringing their tents and we do camping because we only have land. But we make do what we have, and God blessed. And so that's how it started, our ministry. So we do camp meetings almost every month during the lockdown, and we invited speakers. And it continued to happen, except for the last year and this year. We're only doing once a year because everything's back to normal and people have their own travels and activities. But it was a blessing for since 2020 up to maybe the last 3 years. A lot of people have been blessed and looked at properties in the country, and many of them moved already, not necessarily here in our place, but all over other states. So it's such a blessing to know that God can use us. You know, it's not about us or what we did, but what God can do through us. And yeah, we just continue to be an empty vessel that God can use. And now we continue to do our ministry. We have our garden, share our produce to our church members and our neighbors, and we still have a lot of friends coming over. And
one encouragement is, both of us aren't handy, especially me. But if you step out in faith, God will use you.
we don't know anything. We're from the city, so YouTube University is always our friend. He built a firewood house. We built 2 wall tents that our friends can use when they here. They could stay in, and it's just the kids and us doing carpentry. You know, God sends people to help us, angels to help us, our church members. There's church member that's electrician or carpenter, and so it's good to have a community when we do country living.
Words of encouragement, I would say, if you want to step out in faith, you do it wholeheartedly. Like when Moses stepped out in the Red Sea, God opened the Red Sea for him to walk through. Not to say there's not going to be any challenges, but my encouragement is that, you follow God's promises and He will lead you through. Not to say that you won't have trials, not to say that there's not going to be some difficulties you're going to encounter, but if you lead on with faith, look at the both of us. We're not handy. We didn't know what we're getting into, but we step out in faith. And that requires you to just, follow God's leading.
There's going to be a lot of challenges, but like he mentioned, we are weak. We don't know anything. Like, we just draw strength from God. His grace is sufficient for us. He will sustain us and provide for us. And to those of you who are thinking of doing country living, I pray about it, and God will just open doors for you.
Not to say that you're not going to make mistakes. We've had plenty of mistakes that we've had to, repeat stuff like planting. We're not gardeners. It may seem like that, but if you step out in faith, God will help you. Country living is character building. It's a process where you follow God's commandments and just the prompting of the Holy Spirit. It will strengthen you, hopefully for a better person. Especially for me and our family, it made us, stronger as a family. The bonds that we have.
Just be positive. God has already a place for you. And I think it's just, if you'll always find excuses if you don't want to, right?
Yeah, we know people that have money that makes an excuse that, I can't give this up, I can't do that.
And we know people who doesn't have money that were here in the country. So there's no excuse financially.
So I say just follow his leading. And I hear people say, oh yeah, let me pray to God about it. But we need to do our part as well. Not just pray, but actually, figure out how to, I'm going to pray about a country property. but at the same time looking for country properties that, there's no perfect place for you, but the best place for you is where God wants you to be. And for us, this is it for us. I would never go back to the city. 100% have no regrets about moving here to the country.
We wish we've done it sooner. So just listen to that still small voice God is leading you to. But sometimes when we're in the city, we're clouded and there's so many distractions that we can't hear God's voice. But we don't have much time. We have to prepare for what's to come, spiritually and physically. So I encourage you all, hold on to God's promises.
So 4 years ago, we moved here, and I was 9 years old. I was turning 10. And I didn't really think much of it because we would come back and forth, just come visit here and then come back, like do work here and then come back. And then there was a point in time we'd be here for a long time and we just didn't go back home. So I was like, oh, so we've moved here already. And it didn't hit me at first because I was like, oh, we're just gonna go back and visit, But then it hit me that we actually moved here and I'm not gonna go back home anymore and visit. And after a time, I realized like, oh, I'm not gonna be with my friends all the time, and there's not much here to do. So it made me really sad and bored for a long time. And I only had like my brother and like my cousins. But then I realized that even the things that I see online that my friends are doing, sometimes it's not even that good, and it's not even like that good of an influence to me. So I just remember that what should be more important and on my mind is that doing God's work and focusing more on that than focusing on, oh, I should be with my friends, I should be a part of that, or I should hang out with them, and I should just focus more on doing God's work and focusing on my relationship with Him and getting ready for His second coming. Well, a lot of things I do that I try to share Jesus is a lot through music. Since I do a lot of music for church, I play a lot of instruments, I sing, and I help other people accompany them for church. And other churches invite me to do music there, so I also try to bless others through that. I've also spoken a couple times. I preached a sermon like 2 or 3 weeks ago in church with my brother, and that was really nice. And I'm trying to do that more. And also, I went on a mission experience. I went on to the Philippines with Young Disciple Ministries. We were there for a month, and we did child and public evangelism. For the first 2 weeks of it, we would just do training and stuff. And then when the meeting started, we would just do more training, and then it really helped me to learn how to speak more publicly and to share Jesus, because if you can't do it properly, then no one is really going to learn anything from it. So it was just really important to learn how to deal with kids, how to speak properly and clearly and with posture, and they taught us a bunch of stuff like that. So that was really fun. And also just sometimes we go on Saturdays, we will go feed the homeless, and we'll sing for them, we'll give them food, and we can share little tracts with them. That's another thing that we do to share Jesus. I think advice I would give is that remember, not everything in this world is going to last forever. Everything here is temporary. So if you're really sad about things that your friends, or you miss your old home, and if you're not wanting to move and to start new things, just remember that we have a home in heaven that we're going to go to eternally, and that's what's most important. So just focus on your relationship with God and getting closer to Jesus, and remember that He's always there for you, and you can always come to Him and He will help you. So that's it.
Hope you've been encouraged to keep serving the Lord on your country living journey. Now be blessed and be a blessing.
Be blessed and be a blessing.
Be blessed and be a blessing.